So let's join our heroes. And there we go. Get the dice window open, and let me resize that properly, because apparently that resized when I should have. There we go. All right. Here we are. So, over to you guys. Take it away.
Well, I think, didn't we just decide that we were going to go see Lord Vargas again and ask for his assistance?
See if he would want to be involved with his troops.
We did, yes.
All right.
So
that's a thing.
We need to find a place to fight him, but I need to know how to summon him, and that's something I don't have. I haven't found out yet. But if we could find some people to possibly help us or aid us, that'll be good. So, let's go.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So you
We're
want
just looking to see, do we have a copy of the note that was in Piper's bosom?
Piper has the note.
Okay. I'm just looking through my stuff. I don't see it here.
Yeah, I don't know whether you really had time to write it down. It was kind of stuffed in there by Veslar.
Yes. All right.
Alright, so just gonna go up the stairs and go to see Lord Vargas.
I want to ask Erasmus what kind of weapons are good to fight demons.
Ah, I'm glad you met Piper. Come back. Well, I'm gonna reach into. I mean, I guess my pack. Is that a thing?
Well, they're probably not in your. They're probably you've got them like strapped to your back, wrapped up. Yes.
So I'm gonna take a cold iron bastard sword and a cold iron greatsword and put it on the table. And I'm gonna point at the bastard sword and say, "For you, Piper." And then I'm gonna point at the bastard sword and say, "Well, that was for Veslar."
Wait, what about for me?
Can I have the greatsword?
I think that's what he meant. Because he designated the bastard sword for both of you, but...
Oh, greatsword, yeah. I'm going to give Piper the greatsword, because bastard sword and greatsword, yeah, they're two different things.
So yeah, it's a cold iron, which means it's not particularly great for fighting non-demonic things, but it is, in theory, very useful about fighting things that are demonic.
And I'm going to look at Arya and I'm going to say, well, hopefully we'll be utilizing your counter song and voice. Strategies I will, of course, tell you about when the time comes. If you want to take the greatsword, feel free. It's...
No, I want the greatsword.
No, the bastard sword. God damn, I'm being fucking dyslexic right now.
Hey, I totally understand. If I said we need so many more emotes to get subs...
Yeah.
Like, if I said it once last Thursday, I said it 8 times, so you know,
okay.
It's okay.
Alright, well, I'll just have to get into my emu, you know? Alright.
You don't need the bastard sword, Erasmus?
I'll
Just
take the
take it.
greatsword.
Yeah, I think the bastard sword Erasmus had gotten for Veslar, but of course he
guess
didn't know
I'll just-
Veslar was going to be dead, did he? John Farmer, thank you for resubscribing. Give that man some rollies.
Just please don't let me say greatsword and bastard sword again, guys. Just, you know, for the sake of...
All right, I would take my sword so that you don't have to differentiate.
Thank you.
I'll
Thank
take
you,
the bigger
Erasmus.
of the two swords.
I will take the bastard sword and hold it.
I'm just gonna back up.
Yeah, bastard
Careful,
sword in your
Cool,
hands
I feel
is...
like a witch hunter.
yeah, you're at -4 to hit with that
Rest
thing,
in peace, Veslar.
because you have no proficiency with such a weird weapon at all.
It's just nice to have.
Canahan, man, thanks for the follow, buddy. A great bastard sword, right?
I just like saying bastard, I'll be honest.
That's what it is, yeah.
Alright. Let's go. I'm just gonna leave.
Okay, so you guys head upstairs into the town of Lakenweald. Let's move you. Here we go. All right, emerging from the house. Where do you wish to travel?
To the keep.
To the keep. Okay, following the main road and arriving. It is daytime, so you can expect Lord Vargas to be at the keep. in theory. Let's find out if he is.
How evil is Gorbat today?
He's on vacation this weekend.
Yeah.
The one time, he gets one vacation a year, and
It would be right now.
Right. Okay. Actually, as you walk in, he's actually approaching the door. He's like, "Oh, hello."
Do you have a minute?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I was fixing to do the rounds of the town, but I can delay a moment if you need me.
Okay. I'm just gonna, like, walk over here. Just wait for him.
Okay, he kind of glances and seeing you and then gets the hint. And follows you over to the stairs.
Oh.
Noticing that his captain of the guard is sitting, like, right there at the desk, he says, why don't you go upstairs and, change out the guard? Man stands up. Yes, sir. Right away, sir. And heads up the stairs and away from the corner. Yes, so, glancing behind him to make sure that the captain of the guards is way up the stairs and out of earshot. What can I do for you? Does this concern more demon-y things, does it?
It does. It also involves asking for help. Possibly men-at-arms, well-fought soldiers. I'm to believe and understand people have returned from up north. They were detached.
Yes, we are at a fuller complement.
Well, it would be very helpful if you had people to spare to help us in our endeavor.
Okay, to do what?
Fight a big bad.
Oh, the demon, I suppose. Is that what we're talking about?
That is indeed what we're talking about. We intend to summon the demon to this plane and kill it on this plane before it can succeed in its mission.
Well, my militia have no experience at fighting demons, but, if a demon is going to descend upon and attack our town, then I suppose, I can make some of them at your disposal?
I had intended to summon the demon away from the innocents and the people of this place and any established town or city.
Oh, so
But
do you just need them to be on watch and be prepared for any fallout, or do you actually need them to come with you?
come with me would be preferable.
Well, I suppose I can send some. How many do you think you need?
As many as you can spare, so long as they're hardened warriors who will not flee at first sight. Just bodies. We just need bodies.
Yes. I don't like the sound of that. But, under the circumstances, I suppose I could send half a dozen men-at-arms with you.
Is there a field or somewhere in this, around here, away from your town, that would be suitable for this? I would not want to summon the demon in the middle of town, of course. But is there a place, like a clearing or fields?
Well, obviously
use?
we're surrounded by a large lake. Head to one of the banks furthest away. I would say, if you want an open clearing, the easternmost bank should probably suffice.
Beach fight. Nice.
Throw sand in each other's eyes. Harris is going to smash up your sandcastle.
So how about, okay, there is some other business we have to do before it comes to that.
See you, Rune. Thanks for the follow.
So how about you get these men ready and prepared for when we return?
May I ask an honest and straight question?
Yes.
Are these men probably not expected to survive? Only if that's the case, I'd like to ask for volunteers, and preferably from those that don't have wives and children.
Seems suitable.
That is a fair thing. They should know what they're getting into. I do not wish to deceive them.
Well, I must admit, I mean, most of these men are born and raised here, and I've known them most of my life. I would at least like to be as honest with them as I possibly can about their expected demise. I don't believe for a second any of them will shy from the fight, but it would indeed be better to have men that don't have children.
I agree with that. Be sure to impress upon them that if we fail at this prophecy that we have been fighting to stop will come true, and the whole lands will become corrupted with evil song that'll ruin everything. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Well,
as
indeed.
I look at him.
Well, take care of whatever business you have, and when you're ready, my men will be at your disposal, I assure you.
We will return hopefully soon. We must make for Lusker before then. So.
Well, I hope that you have safe travels, and I look forward to seeing you very soon, and pray that this dark hour does not descend before we are ready.
Thank you. I'm just going to look at Piper and Arya and just nod.
I'll look to Lord Vargas and kind of do whatever gesture is appropriate.
Sorry. Good luck.
It's going to turn and sweep out, I guess, on a mission.
Alrighty. Okay, you head out back onto the streets of Lakenweald once more.
I'm just going to look at Piper and I'm going to say, when I was traveling to Arilla to see about that demon portal, or crack, I heard rumors of strange things happening in Lusker. I didn't get a chance to follow through, but I would like to see what happens, or did anything happen there that I should be aware of when you guys adventured there?
Well, there was this thing.
This one thing that happened.
With a.
Way, Piper.
It was Vessler's fault. Well, it was his idea.
Hashtag blame the dead guy.
Yep.
I know, just passing the buck for sure.
But
Dang.
it was his idea. Come on. Vessler thought it would be a good idea to try and find the owner of a necromancy book, and in the process, we kind of lost it.
Do you know who has it?
No.
Well, I don't know the ritual to summon the demon, so it is not something you or I will be able to do, even if we have the setup correct. So I suggest we go to Lusker to see what's happening there. Maybe it's something we can turn to our advantage. In the meantime, while we travel, I really do need to see all the documents you have collected over everything that has occurred with anything having to do with necromancy. Maybe there's notes that I can glean that'll help me.
Yes, sir.
Vesslar carried this really strange book on knots.
He did.
Would that help?
This one.
Wait, what's the book?
Your Vessler's bondage book.
The book on all the rope tying and knots and stuff like that.
I'm gonna take the book, look at it, immediately recognize it for what it is, and just throw it over my shoulder. I mean, it's a book on S&M, right? And bondage. Nothing really.
It was your dead character's book.
No, and you never got a chance to read it. How awkward. But I'm gonna throw it
When
over.
he opens it up, it's like, what are all these doodles in here? This book is full of this book is full of phallic
What is
doodling.
happening?
I totally forgot that he had that. Okay.
Sex stuff.
Yeah, the sex stuff. Well, Erasmus is a ladies' man, so he doesn't need to worry about that.
Oh, okay.
All Vesslar did was draw pictures of male genitalia in his book all day long. That was his thing. Erasmus is looking at it like, I'm glad he was dead. Okay.
I'm gonna also look at Arya, and I'm gonna hold a vial of liquid, and I'm gonna say, "This is an elixir of tranquility. I will tell you what it does and how to, but don't drink it before you absolutely need to. But please not before we deal with Warius directly." And I'm
What is
gonna.
it?
It's elixir that helps your performance as a bard and your song abilities. But it has a
Performance
limited
enhancer.
duration. It's an
Hashtag
improved
Viagra.
performance. It's steroids,
I don't
basically.
need that. I'm a great bard.
Arya, you're gonna need it. But don't drink it until we talk about when we strategize about the fight, which of course we're not gonna do right at this moment. Okay?
Thank you for finally telling me.
Well,
It was
honestly,
really nice to hold back that information.
this is as much a suicide mission as we've ever encountered before. If you thought the assault on the keep, the siege of the keep, was impossible, and honestly, I kind of thought you guys would not succeed. But this is the end game, so
What is
We're
this
in the-
end game you speak of, Erasmus?
end of the world, basically.
Destin, thank you for subscribing. Give that man some rollies.
Welcome!
New subscriber hype.
Take your pants off. Enjoy the stream.
Pants off.
So I'm gonna look at Piper and I'm gonna say, there are odds we're gonna die. You are aware of this, right?
Well, if we don't stop it, we die anyways, don't we?
In a worse way, with many innocents also succumbing to the same fate. Yes. So I want you guys to be frank with me. I'll be frank with you. You don't have to call me sir anymore. We're in this together. This is like the last hurrah. Okay?
Well, then I think it's time we moved out.
Well, you're just leaving. We move out like
To Lusker, sir.
to let's go.
I mean, Erasmus.
Okay. Go to
Time
the
is
boat.
of the essence, frankly.
All right, so you guys are going to go and procure a vessel, a fishing boat.
Didn't we bring a barge here?
Yeah,
with
he's got his
Gypsy and
Veslar Mo boat.
The boat that Erasmus had, yeah, he didn't own it. He was just,
Or the Erasmus mobile.
yeah,
that
he
thing.
was basically doing the same thing. He was just like hiring passage up and down the river.
Okay.
But that's not a hard thing to do here in this town. Hire a barge. So, all right,
Let's
so
do this. Get a barge.
you get a barge and head south towards Lusker. All right, well, it's a 2-day trip on the way down. What do you guys want to do on the 2 days? Obviously, you don't have to man the barge, so...
I want to find out from Erasmus why we're going to Lusker. What are we doing there? What do we need to do when we get there?
Okay. I'm hopeful that we can find someone who is able to perform the ritual to summon the demon. It is beyond our control. Although, of course, I still don't know how to summon the demon. Which is why I'm perusing all these documents I hope you gave me. I mean, did you give me everything?
Oh yeah, I've given him all of the documents, everything
Right,
that
so
I have.
I've been reading it and going through it carefully. That's what I've been doing before Piper approached.
All right. So, do you want to make a like a knowledge arcana or a decipher script roll or anything at all? Or are you doing the same as you did with the other book?
Well, is
Don't
the
need 'em.
script like? It's a decipher script roll, I guess, right?
If you decipher script roll to read it, knowledge arcana might identify what something is, even if you can't read it.
Okay, so 17 is my decipher roll and knowledge arcana. I mean, I'll just roll both, and you'll
Okay.
work out. Because my knowledge arcana is sexy as hell. I miss it.
He just wants to roll it.
Oh my
Oh
god!
yay!
Wow.
What was that you were saying? Hey, what's sad is it's still a 22 on the dice. It's still a total of 22.
Alright, can we move on from this?
No. Linger.
Yeah, Erasmus's knowledge arcana is off the chain, so he still gets a 22.
Sorry, that was way too funny.
It's ironically funny. It's just perfect. What was it we were saying before? We was talking
So
earlier
sad.
and saying how Roll20 likes to give us amazing successes for minor things, but deny you any success for anything major. It's like, all right. For this, let's go ahead and put this up here, and I'll add it to. Let's see. Let's add it to Shaggets here.
All right.
Right. Your best guess after going through all the documentation, this one is actually attached to a diagram of the pentagram.
Okay.
So you now actually have a fully accurate copy of the pentagram, including what is necessary, and this strange incantation, which you believe to be the summoning ritual. Of course, with your impressive knowledge of the arcane, just because you can read the words does not mean you can cast the spell if you don't have the significant magical prowess to do so.
Mm.
I'm going to impart this onto Piper as this is what I found out as she approached me. And I say, we need to find someone who can actually cast the spell. And I'm going to very subtly, where is Arya during this conversation?
I am there.
No, you're there. I'm going to cast a glance to Arya and then back to Piper and then kind of shrug and be like, last resort, I guess. But it needs to happen.
Arya? Is that what he's hinting at?
No.
Oh.
No, just read the use the summoning because you're magically inclined. Is that not?
Okay.
Wait, what? Me?
A last resort.
Last resort.
Am I always the last resort?
Cut my life into
Cut
pieces.
your life into pieces. Get out of my head!
Jinx.
And it's funny that we both didn't sing it this time. We were both to set it.
Right?
Because usually we would sing it. And you don't usually sing it.
Cut my life into pieces. This is my last resort. Right? Okay, yeah, so you are apparently being discussed as a last resort, Arya.
There's nothing that makes me feel like a human being than being a last resort.
Meaning we wouldn't sacrifice you unless we absolutely had to, Arya.
Oh, yeah, that's not the point. I just don't like being a last resort.
Look, reading
Would you want to sacrifice yourself?
No.
Summoning the spell would not kill you. Then you wouldn't die when you summon the spell. Let's make that completely clear. You would still be able to do what we require you to do. But again, I'm very hopeful it doesn't come to that. Hopefully, we get to Lusker and we find out ne'er-do-well, and we force that son of a bitch to do it.
Who?
Whoever might be in Lusker.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, that's the hope.
So we're looking for somebody of a magical nature who is going to want to summon a demon, is what you're saying.
Or we force him to summon a demon.
Force?
We need to summon the demon to kill him.
I'm slowly starting to pick up what Erasmus is laying down.
I'm sure we could convince somebody.
You can't just convince anybody.
I think the question is, do you want to try to convince a necromancer to do something nice for you, or do you want to assume he's going to not want to do it and just make the bastard do it? Alright, well, you continue heading down towards Lusker. Here you are, let's move you there. Here's your boat.
Yay, boat.
Alright, as you continue, it's not too much longer. You pass all the woods, you kind of glance memoringly at the little shack where the strange fellow that guarded the path that led to Arilla was hiding. But as you continue down the river, all the familiar sounds and smells of the town of Lusker begin to assail your nostrils and your ears.
Where do we start?
I haven't been here, so how about you? You know,
There's the guardhouse. We know the people at the tavern. We know the old people who ran the necromancer's household. They're probably long gone and moved on.
I could always ask the priest.
Well, let's find out what's happened. So you lead the way, I'll follow.
Alright.
Who's that too?
Okay, well, the boat continues to sail down, and eventually it moors up at the edge of the dock. Alright, you guys depart onto the docks. There are no large ships or vessels here. One thing I will do, everybody make a perception check, if you will, as you come down the river for each of you.
Perception being spot?
Yeah. Technically it's not spot, but it's the closest thing that you're going to use, so...
Hey!
Pip gets a 22.
God, I'm just, like, not observant.
Nice 3.
Thank you.
Ooh, lovely, Erasmus. What about our friend Arya?
Doing it.
Arya.
Doing it.
Arya.
Nothing.
Okay, while you guys are all, like, you know, watching the sights of Lusker drift by, Piper catches a whiff of something on the air. It reminds you of that town where, remember all the buildings were on fire and you had to fight the ghouls and stuff like that?
Oh, I remember.
Kind of glancing around either side of the boat, over to the right here as you pass it, you notice that remember a house being there. There was a large house on the opposite bank. It is burnt down. And by the smell that you can catch in the air, probably not very long ago either, because you can still smell the soot and smoke. And there's also a little bit of a sickly smell, which you generally attribute to bodies, like burnt flesh.
And which house?
This one right here.
Ah, oh yeah, the burnt one. There, look at that. Okay.
Interesting.
I didn't see that because it was too far below my... I'm like looking in the town.
Where's the burnt house? Okay.
All right.
Okay, yep, so you get on the dock, the familiar town is there, you know, all the general bustle, the pristine-looking town guards walking around in their spanky uniforms.
Spanky.
Yeah, remember, this is that place that everything is, like, semi-artificial, like, they're all so frigging new, everything's shiny.
Oh, as we are kind of disembarking, I will say, mind your coin purses here.
Lead the way.
Where do you wish to go to?
All right, I'm gonna
Excuse
more
me,
or less
sorry.
say to Erasmus and not so much Arya. That house was
Poor
not
Arya.
burnt down. I know, poor Arya, but that house is recently burned.
Well, gossip helps. The authorities help. Either of those two will probably know something. So,
Where would you rather start? The priest or the innkeepers?
start with the priests. The priests.
Arya?
And I look at Arya.
Yes.
Yep.
Because I was assuming we were kind of talking to each other, so I'm just going to raise my voice. And Arya, I think you probably have the best connection in this town. Do you think you could take us to the priest?
Of course, I can.
Thank
So-
you.
All right. Okay, so Arya is going to lead you to the Church of Pelor, which is right here. Okay, so you guys wander inside the great big church. All right, Arya. The familiar, most of the monks that you recognize are there, wandering around, doing their news. There's an inordinate amount of people, like villagers and townsfolk, in the church for this time of day. The pews are full, and the monks seem to be like wandering around. The priests of Pelor are going around and like comforting them. Like you can overhear them like, "There, don't worry, everything will be fine. The sun's rays will bathe us in their glory and protect us from this menace."
I'm gonna whisper to Piper. The only time people come to church is when they're sad or depressed.
Can you find out what's going on?
Sure. Do I see the father I know?
Yes, you do. Yep.
Okay, then I will walk
the
straight
father,
to
the father you used to know.
I was just thinking that.
See, I mean, your
Because
head
I've
too.
got
Right,
names.
no.
Yeah.
You're all screwed. I mean, in all of your heads. Okay. Yep. So you walk over to him. He sort of sees you approaching, and he's like, "Oh, my child, it is a wonderful thing to see you, but unfortunately, you come at a very Very unpleasant time, I'm afraid, my dear.
Father, what's happened here? I saw a burned house down there.
Oh, yes indeed. It was not a good thing, you know. Not good at all, at all. A whole family were burnt alive, only a few days past.
And then just one family? Was it targeted?
Well, this is the thing. It happened late at night, and nobody was really aware that it was happening until some people saw the blaze on the opposite side of the river. Well, by the time the militia and everybody could cross the river to get to the house, it was too far gone. Rumour has it that nobody made it out alive.
It's awful.
Well, that's not the worst of it, my dear. He says, "Come closer." And he kind of pulls you away from all of the main, the main congregation.
What is it?
Well, it's hard to hold much tale in this, but from my experiences, sometimes the most seemingly unreliable people can have sometimes the most informative information. A village drunk apparently was sleeping it off down by the water's edge that very night that it happened. He said he heard strange noises and bizarre flames in the distance, like balls of fire flying through the air. He claims that the balls of fire struck the house and burnt it to the ground. Of course, most people thought that what he saw was maybe bandits or mercenaries hurling torches at the thatched roof. Could be. But he seems to think that the strange noises make it seem otherwise.
It sounds a lot like magic, if you ask me.
Could indeed be.
Speaking of, I have my friends here. I'm wondering if we can have a private conversation.
Oh,
Do you
yes,
have
of
them?
course. Bring your friends. Let's have a chat.
To motion them over.
We must make our way.
Yep. Same.
Pleased to meet your acquaintance.
Pleased
So,
to meet you. Or I met you. I've met him before, right?
Yeah, you have. He's shaking Erasmus's hand.
Hello.
So, what can I do for you?
I just look at Arya.
Well, we're wondering if you know of anyone magically inclined that would be willing to help us.
Well, of course,
summon
here at the priesthood we
something.
have the magic at our disposal, gifted to us by Keylor. If there's
Right.
anything we could do, we would be more than happy to assist.
I know, but I'm
I-
afraid that it's probably something you might find blasphemous. But
Blasphemous?
for the greater good,
Why would you ask
It's
us to
not
do something of a blasphemous nature, child? You don't
Listen,
need to be messing with anything
listen.
blasphemous yourself, young lady.
I know. But
My name is Erasmus Baldor. I did send word down here about the portal in Arilla to the north. Did you get
that
wet?
was yourself, was it?
That was myself. Has anyone gone there to investigate it from the church?
Well,
Or as a yes.
3 days ago we had 2 or 3 priests head up in that direction. They haven't come back yet. How far was it? I think your note said it was like a day or so.
Yeah, and then some.
So we'd expect
through
them back any time now.
But someone did go to investigate.
I sent 3. I sent 2 young initiates and one of my more trusted clergymen to investigate.
And Arya, did he tell you about what happened in this town?
it was a family that was murdered. The local drunk said that he saw balls of fire in the air, which sounds a lot
okay.
like something we know.
And this drunk, where can we see him or meet or find him?
Ah, you see, that's the thing, isn't it? He's over there, and he points at like a very plain-looking coffin that's sitting over on the side of the pews.
And how did he die?
He seems Seems that he was strangled to death.
By who?
No idea.
When?
He was found dead only yesterday. Yesterday night, down by the docks. Throttled he was. When they found him in the morning, his tongue was sticking out, and he was as blue as the lily of the valley.
I just give Arya a look, and then I say, "Is there any way you can communicate with this man? What is his name?"
Well, I don't actually know what his name was. He didn't have any family. I just knew him because from time to time we would, pass by and hand him an offering of food and a copper piece out of the goodness of our heart from the coffers here and there.
Well, how about, can anyone here communicate with him, ask questions about the identity of the murderer? Because it would be someone I would quite like to meet.
I could possibly commune with him tomorrow if it's something that is of vital importance.
It is.
Well, I'll rest this evening and make my prayers in the morning to Pelor to bless me with such abilities.
Thank you. We'll be back in the morning.
Well, feel free to, take sustenance here with us in our mess hall if you wish.
Have we eaten before then?
You probably know, because you came straight here.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to go and get food and water.
Right,
Not my head, thankfully.
Bread, cheese, and water is about all you're getting, because they eat pretty plain here.
Fucking Pelorians, man. Do I work for them secretly? All right. I'm gonna call Arya over.
What is it?
I would much appreciate it if we didn't try to recruit a Pelorian cleric to do a ritual to summon a demon.
Yeah, I
Probably
had
not
second
gonna work.
Thoughts just in the middle of asking him.
Yeah, just don't tell him what it is he's doing.
Just
So you know that lawful good alignment thing that you had like 5 minutes ago?
I don't know. It was a good idea in my mind, and sometimes my mind doesn't give me the best ideas.
It's quite all right. Yeah. I just give Piper a look, like a.
So jelly.
All right. Oh, you're killing me, guys.
I'd love
That's
it.
great.
The
I love it. It's
Church
great.
of Pelor summoning the devil. With crap like that going on, who needs to corrupt anybody?
To the inn, guys.
All right.
Maybe.
Sure, whatever you want, Erasmus.
Over to the tavern then.
Erasmus.
Sharasmus.
Sharasmus, the Wide Mouth Inn of Lusker. Alrighty. Let's see.
Oh, it's Veslar's friend right here.
Are we gonna tell him that Veslar is dead? He probably won't care.
You can ding dong the Veslar's dead. Alright, let's open the door.
Look at that badass over there.
He looks like a freaking
Alright, here you go.
ninja.
I know.
You guys wander in.
Oh, the tables are occupied.
I guess we're here for any gossip
There's
someone
one
might
free
have.
table right here. It looks like it's just
Oh.
recently been vacated.
Is there still food on the table? 'Cause
There's still like a half-eaten chicken and a half a lump of bread.
I don't have control of my Rasmus.
And nor should you with comments like that, young man.
You don't want food to go to waste. Let's be real here.
Yeah,
All
you're
right, cheese and. All right, nice.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit down.
All right, you sit down at the table and wait patiently. As you can see, the inn is pretty busy, and the one wench is kind of like running around doing her best to get from table to table. So she kind of like looks at you and she says, "I'll be with you in a minute, love."
Okay.
I'm just gonna look at Arya and Piper, and I'm gonna
Heavy
say,
Duke, thanks for that follow.
since we're gonna meet the priest tomorrow to talk to the dead guy, anything you can find about people acting suspiciously, about lawbreakers, anything, any gossip will do us good. So,
Okay, oh boy.
yeah, it's like a needle in a haystack, that's for sure.
So, Gore, could you describe the 4 folks sitting around the bar for me? It looks like this one is a lady.
Yep. Basically, it's two women over here. The one in the far corner is a fairly robust, middle-aged woman. The one next to her is much better dressed. She's probably in her mid to late 20s, semi-attractive. They look, however, to be related. Your best guess is it's either an elder sister and a younger sister, or a mother and daughter for sure.
Okay. And
What about these people over here?
All right, over there. Your best guess would be possibly a merchant and his lady friend, maybe his wife, maybe not.
And these guys that I can look at over here,
One of them is wearing full field plate, like what a knight would wear. It's dented, it's battered. Clearly, this guy hasn't just recently purchased this and is wandering around like some pompous ass for show. And the other 2 seem to be common folk, like very common.
how about this guy? Is this a guy?
That is also a woman. So, it's then that you notice that the barman here is not the same barman that you 2 remember previously. It's not the older, rougher-looking fellow. It's actually a rather handsome young chap. He's got like a very trimmed, small mustache, a teeny tiny black goatee, slick black hair, fairly chiseled, although not particularly broad of shoulder. Looks very athletic more than strong. Maybe this is why there are so many women that seem to have, all the single women seem to have made their way to the bar.
Okay.
Perfect. Are these ladies speaking hushed or regular tone,
They're
loud
really not
tone?
speaking at all. They're waiting for this guy to pour them some kind of cocktail or drink, and making goo-goo eyes at the barman across the other side of the bar.
And the lone lady?
They're all doing pretty much the same thing. They're all like,
All right, I'm gonna go right here.
okay. You sit down. Immediately seeing you, he kind of turns and looks. He's like, hello. Haven't seen you before.
Passing through. Ale, please.
Oh, absolutely. He reaches round behind him and, like, grabs a flagon, reaches under the desk and, like, pours the glass without taking his eyes off you for a second. And then he, like, hands it to you. Like, he
I'll
doesn't
hold his gaze. I will
Okay,
hold
he doesn't, like, sit it down on the bar. He, like, hands it to you at, like, you know, arm's length. Once you take it, he, like, holds onto it for an awkward half a second. And then, like, lets go and pulls it back. Like, it's...
ladies.
He says, so, you seem to be quite a formidable woman.
You have no idea. You seem to be new here.
Yes, I am, actually. Since my uncle was taken ill last week, I'm taking care of the bar and the tavern and the duties of the inn for my aunt.
Ah, I see. Good to know. I just kind of give him like this.
He says, please, if you need another drink, don't hesitate to come and let me know.
I think I'll take another ale and a glass of white wine to go.
Absolutely. I like a woman that can hold her drink.
You have no idea.
Pours you another glass. This time he actually does look round behind him, and you see him, like, noticeably, like, and like he's carefully considering which white wine he should pick. Then he freshly opens the cork, he, like, takes the cork out like it's a fresh bottle, pours a very large glass, but as he does so, it's like he turns to you and begins to pour it, gets to the normal measure, and then pauses and goes, and then, like, carefully hands it to you as it's like almost like teetering on the very top of the glass.
So I'll grab the 2 mugs of ale in one hand and the white wine precariously in the other. I'll flip some money at him, whatever is appropriate.
Right, he snatches it off the counter and puts it in his pocket.
And then I'll turn and kind of, as I walk away, I'm going to do a little bit of like the woman like thunk, thunk from side to side, just a little bit, and saunter over and deliver the drinks. And
A little badonka-donk.
yeah,
You can do the badonka-donk, yep.
Not bad, Piper.
which probably looks ridiculous to anybody who's watching.
Lady Brianna of Targ. Okay, so you take your drink and you head back to your table?
Yeah, so I'll deliver hopefully Erasmus likes ale and a white
if
wine.
he doesn't,
Sorry.
that's what he's got.
No,
Yep.
I'm gonna accept it and just drink it, regardless of whether I like it or not. I mean, it's
Okay.
the gesture that counts, right?
There
And
you
then-
go. Let's move you over here. There you go. All right. Well, we're going to take a very, very short break. And we'll be right back